The forest was peaceful, tranquil, serene, a perfect place to escape the city. Nestled amongst towering pines, a campfire crackled merrily, casting long, dancing shadows. The air, crisp and cool, carried the scent of pine needles and damp earth. The last rays of the setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange, purple, and red. A perfect end to a perfect day. But danger lurks in the most beautiful places. Mother Nature can be a cruel mistress. She gives life, but she can take it away just as easily. And tonight, she was watching, waiting. For in the fading light, a venomous viper, unseen, unheard, slithered through the undergrowth. Its eyes, cold and black, glinted with malice. There were 4 of them. Mark, the leader of the group, always prepared, always in control. Emily, the sensible one, the voice of reason. John, the joker, always ready with a quip to lighten the mood. And Sarah, the quiet one, observant, in tune with nature. They had been friends since childhood, their bond forged over countless adventures, big and small. They had laughed together, cried together, supported each other through thick and thin. Their friendship was a source of strength and comfort, a beacon of light in a sometimes dark and unforgiving world. They had no idea what was about to happen. They had no idea that their friendship was about to be tested like never before. John, ever the comedian, was gathering firewood. He stumbled back, clutching his ankle, a sharp cry escaping his lips. "Snake!" he yelled, his voice thick with pain and terror. Panic surged through the group. Mark rushed to John's side, his face etched with concern. A small, red mark, 2 tiny puncture wounds, oozed blood on John's ankle. "Viper!" Sarah whispered, her voice trembling. She had seen the snake slither away into the undergrowth. She knew what it meant. Time was of the essence. Panic turned to blame. "We should have brought the anti-venom kit," Emily said, her voice shaking. They had argued about it, of course. It was heavy, bulky, unnecessary, they had thought. Now, that decision weighed heavily upon them. Mark, ever the pragmatist, took charge. "There's no time for regret," he said, his voice firm. "We need to get John to a hospital, now." But the nearest town was miles away, the road treacherous and winding. Their worst nightmare had become a reality. Lost in the wilderness, no help in sight, and the clock was ticking. Section 5. A race against time. They bound the wound tightly, a meager attempt to slow the spread of the venom. John was getting worse. The pain was excruciating, spreading like wildfire through his body. He was nauseous, dizzy, his vision blurring. Carrying John, they set off into the rapidly darkening forest. Each step was a battle against the unforgiving terrain, the dense undergrowth, the treacherous roots and rocks that seemed to reach out for them in the fading light. Every rustle of leaves, every snapping twig, sent shivers down their spines. They were not alone in the wilderness, and they were running out of time. Section 6. Nature, a beautiful adversary. The forest seemed to conspire against them. Thorns tore at their clothes, branches whipped their faces. The path, barely visible in the daylight, was now a treacherous labyrinth. They stumbled and fell, their hope dwindling with each passing moment. Fear gnawed at their resolve. They had always considered themselves experienced hikers, comfortable in the wilderness. But now, faced with the harsh realities of nature's indifference, they felt small, insignificant, utterly out of their depth. The once beautiful forest had transformed into a menacing, unforgiving adversary. It was a race against time, a fight for survival, and they were losing. Section 7. Doubt creeps in. John's breathing was shallow, his skin clammy and pale. The venom was taking hold. Despair threatened to engulf them. Was this the end? Had their luck finally run out? They had always believed in each other, in their ability to overcome any obstacle. But now, doubt crept in like an insidious fog, clouding their judgment, sapping their strength. The weight of their predicament pressed down upon them. The fading daylight seemed to mirror their fading hopes. Section 8. The Last Light. The last rays of sunlight slipped below the horizon, plunging the forest into darkness. They huddled together, their headlamps casting eerie beams into the impenetrable darkness. The forest was alive with sounds, the chirping of crickets, the hooting of owls, the rustling of unseen creatures. John's breathing was barely perceptible. They knew time had almost run out. A sense of hopelessness descended upon them, suffocating, inescapable. They had failed. Their friend, their brother, was slipping away from them, and there was nothing they could do. Section 9. A glimmer of hope? Suddenly a faint light flickered in the distance. A glimmer of hope in the overwhelming darkness. Could it be? Was someone out there? With renewed determination they gathered John and stumbled towards the light. As they drew closer they could hear the distant drone of an engine. They had found it. A logging road, a truck rumbling down the dirt track. Salvation. They had made it. Just in time.